I've become more of a confident person and more happy, and so I can write happier songs.
This is for you, if you look back now on those songs. Are you still proud of every song, or can you say, well, some songs were written in a time frame, and I can say that, well, it was good back then, but if I sing them now, then maybe it feels a bit awkward, or?
Yeah, it's definitely, there's like some older stuff I'd want to change some things, and lyrically I wasn't happy with some stuff, but that's the cool process of being a songwriter, is you get to, you develop and you get to see, where you were. I mean, even probably John Lennon, some of the stuff he used to write when he was a kid was probably, if he was alive, might look back and say, oh man, what was I thinking when I wrote that lyric? But like nowadays for me, the songwriting has completely changed. Like how I look at a song and how I write it is totally different than I used to when I was a kid. So it's cool.
Can you say that one song that you've written that you say, well, maybe if I would write it now, then I would change this line or maybe this riff? Can you say?
Like a specific song? Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff on our first record. There's probably quite a few songs where I was probably look back and wish we did things differently, like the last song or Point to Prove. Like stuff, a lot of the songs back then were based on riffs, so we always just were all about the riff and not as much about the lyrics. For me, it was kind of an afterthought. But I don't know, there's not one specific song.
I think there's, you've released with a 3-year span between them, 2002, 2005 and 2008, you released 3 albums. Theory of a Deadman, Gasoline and Scars and Souvenirs. I bumped into, something you said, and I would like to read it out and maybe you can comment on it. I was sick of writing all these woman-hater songs.
Yeah.
When was this, when were you sick of this?
I think more recently than ever. I think that what we were talking about before about developing as a songwriter, you can only write what you know. If you're frustrated or mad all the time, you can only write frustrating, mad songs. So I think recently, maybe in the last few years, I've become more of a confident person and more happy, and so I can write happier songs, and so I can make more of a conscious effort to get away from that aggro, women-hating kind of attitude that I've had in a lot of our past songs, and write songs about love and songs about having fun with friends and things like that. Because a lot of people are scared to write happy, fun songs, because it's almost like being in a rock band. It's almost like you're supposed to be dark and you're not supposed to let people know that you're having a great time.
Is it? Can you say where that came from? This woman-hating songs?
Well, I think it definitely stemmed from growing up, and my parents broke up when I was a teenager, so I grew up with my dad. So I mean, I'm sure a therapist would tell you it probably came from my mother leaving, and I became very resentful towards
But is it
her.
true? Is it true?
Yeah, I think so. Because that's where a lot of it came from. Because a lot of people would always ask me, you must have gone through a lot of breakups and relationship problems. I'd be like, no. Like, where all these songs come from then? Where are all these songs about she's leaving and all this anger? And I'm like, well, that came from my mother, I guess.
Is she still alive, your mother?
Yeah.
Are you still in contact with her?
Yeah, things are better now.
What does she think of the song? Do you talk about them maybe?
Not really. I mean...
it must be awkward if you see her and then maybe if she comes to your show and then you sing a song.
Right, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I never think about it like that, but I guess that it's, I don't know, maybe I should ask her.
That's good. Well, you were saying you had a turning point. Can you be a bit more specific?
Well, I got married in 2000 about 4 years ago, and 2006. And for me, I felt very, I guess, complacent. I don't know. I felt really good in my life, and being married gave me a really great outlook for my songwriting, and I could really write songs about being happy and being with someone. And it's different because now, instead of having fans relate to the breakup songs, they can also relate to the being in love songs that you have on Scars and Souvenirs.
Yeah.